You guys, I am finally back. I finally got the chance to record again. Like I was telling you guys in my last video, I had just gotten a new job, so I think I got the gist of it now, so I can take on another project. Anyway, I hope you guys have been taking really good care of yourselves. Like we talked about last video, we talked about self-care, we talked about meditation, we talked about prioritizing yourself. So if you have not been doing any of those, what else have you been doing? I gave you some homework, sis. So anyways, so like I said, I hope you guys have been taking good care of yourselves, and if you haven't, what is stopping you from focusing on yourself, from putting yourself first? Why aren't you doing that? Why do you feel guilty for doing better for yourself? So I wrote some stuff down that I wanted to share with you guys, and I normally don't really write, but I noticed that if I don't write things down, I start to bicker and bicker, and then I go from one thing to the next. The first thing that I was writing about was the power of questions and the danger of curiosity. If you ask the wrong questions these days, you know where you end up. So asking questions can put you in very sticky situations sometimes. I mean, imagine being 5 years old and you ask where the babies come from. I'm sure your mind would not be able to comprehend the real reasoning behind. I just want you guys to think about, what if what we've been told this whole time is wrong? The system is just so freaking unfair. You work your ass off. How many hours a day you miss out on holidays, you miss out on your children, you miss out on your family. Why do you do it? Because you need to survive. That's why you do it, because you need to survive. So how is that fair? I mean, yeah, work on something you enjoy to do. You're doing something from the bottom of your heart. Become successful because you believe that it will become successful. That's what manifesting is. If you really truly believe in your business, and this goes out to all of you who have new businesses, once again, props to you. Support small businesses, because I refuse to give my money to any of the big corporates who support terrible things. First of all, if you have not been supporting small businesses, I encourage you to do it now. Keep your money within your community. Stop giving your money to the system, to these millionaires. Stop doing that and invest in yourself. You know, do something that you never thought would be successful, but if you really believe in it, you will be successful, I promise you. So I wanted to talk to you guys about a few things that you'll start to notice when you have what we so-called a spiritual awakening, or at least for me. You know, this is different for everyone. We all see it in different patterns, but we see it somehow, okay? What I first started to encounter was, I guess I learned to understand that I wasn't perfect. I let go of the word perfect, because there is no such thing as that. So that was a huge one for me. I see girls on social media who are portrayed as, oh, that girl is so perfect, and you sit here and you body shame yourself. Stop worshiping that. I am telling you, they're fake. It's all Photoshop. The girls you're comparing yourself to, nowhere near real. But there's no such thing as perfect. I just want you guys to know that. The second thing I started to notice when I had my spiritual awakening was I didn't want to be in anyone else's presence but my own. All I want to do was literally just go to the middle of the jungle or something and just hang out with animals and meditate all day. Like, that's literally what I want to do all day, just hang out with nature. You completely learn to forgive yourself for anything that you've done in the past before that you're not proud of. You let go of it because you understand that that's not you anymore, and your mistakes do not define you, and that's a beautiful thing. So the third thing I learned was I just wanted nature. Like, I don't know what it was, but I just wanted sun, I just wanted moon, I just wanted grass, I just wanted flowers, nature, animals. Like, that's all I wanted. I didn't want to be stuck in a house anymore. I didn't want to be on social media. So you're gonna notice that you're gonna want to change your diet. The way that meat is processed now today, disgusting. It's not even real meat. You're gonna want to get away from all that nasty food. Then fourth, you start to see life for what it really is. You start to see that nothing you thought mattered really mattered. This thought of a career and a family and marriage and a perfect life does not exist. That's not what life is about. So those things are important, but it's not the way it was meant to be at all. You start to see life for what it really is. You start to see that the system is not fair. Like, this game is not fair. The way they're playing it We just can't keep up. We're in constant debt because they're putting us in debt. The whole concept of working for other people while you're getting paid almost nothing, and then rent goes up high and you're like, how am I supposed to do? I have 2 jobs and I still can't keep up. You have children, you can't keep up. That's what you start to see. You start to see that it just doesn't add up. For what you get paid, that's ridiculous. That doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't even add up, and you know it. You know it doesn't add up. Go ahead and look at your check and tell me if you can afford half of the things. You guys see this happening all over you. You're literally being scammed, and you guys are all like, oh. And just go back to your every single regular life. Like, how does that make any sense? When you're little, what do you say? I'm gonna change the world one day. And then you grow up and you're fed all these false informations that you can't do it, and that this is how the world really works. So you forget about that dream. You forget about changing the world. Why can you say, no, that's not gonna happen to me? And if we all did it together, they have no other option but to change it. Like, so what's up? Why can't we do it together? Why can't we just all say no to all these different things? The 5th thing that you'll start to notice is you'll start to encounter meditation, and you'll start to encounter manifestation, and you just want to seek the truth. You're like, okay, you know what? I've been through religion. I've been through atheism, if that's what you've been through. I've been through so much, and I still don't know what's real and what's not. And the whole concept of worshiping a god outside of you doesn't make any sense to me anymore. I mean, you are a god. Why can't you believe that? You know, when you were a kid, you could have sworn you were different. I remember being a kid and I sat there and I was like, I feel like I'm different. I feel like I can do things that other people can't do. And then you grow up to this ridiculous materialistic world and you forgot about that. You're like, you know what? I'm not different. I'm just like all these other people, and there's people better than me out there. What happened to that beauty and understanding how powerful you are? It's gone because of what the outside put inside of your head.
Anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
In a movie like Zoolander, when they're showing you that they're controlling Derek Zoolander's mind through mind control, you realize that they're trying to desensitize you and to make you think that what you're watching is fiction because it's in a comedy.
Like a mass MK Ultra now. Their purpose is to capture the minds of the people and feed them false history. The CIA is funneling information into Hollywood. Hollywood is putting out in the movies, and the population believes it.
All right, so look, here's the deal. They have been desensitizing us since we were born, and I'll give you some examples. Let's start with the big one. Let's start with words we hear all the time and never even think about. Let's start with the word entertainment. To entertain. What does that mean? To bind or hold. To bind or hold what? An audience's attention. Okay, now let's take the word Hollywood. Where does that come from? Well, Hollywood comes from the holly tree. And the ancient Druids, back in the day, used to take the holly tree, make wands to weave spells, cast spells, or channel spells. And when they needed help, they would consult the Magi's or the mediums of the day to help channel their spells to the population. We'll cut to today. What do we have in our houses? We have these black boxes. What are they called? TVs. But if you stop and you say the word television, and when you turn on that television, what do you get? What's the first thing that pops up? A list of channels. And when you turn on those channels, what's on those channels? Programming. They are programming you. They've been programming your whole life. You don't even know it. They do it with your music. They do it with your TV. They do it with your movies. They do it with your games. They have been programming us and programming you since you were little, and you don't even know it because you don't even question it.
When's the last time you've seen a mainstream media outlet do a serious investigative report on the actions of the CIA? There's a reason for that.
This would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country. And we're looking at that very carefully.
You say that continues today?
Well,
Yeah, I would think probably for a reporter it would continue today, but because of all of the revelations of the period of the 1970s, it seems to me that a reporter's got to be much more circumspect in doing it now, or he runs the risk of at least being looked at with considerable disfavor by the public. I think you've got to be much more careful about it.
Platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 There is something about the way the CIA has been functioning that is casting a shadow on our historic position of freedom, and I feel we need to correct it.
And the sixth thing that you'll start to notice when you have a spiritual awakening is, well, not necessarily notice, but what will happen is that you will completely escape this matrix. So think about it like a Monopoly, right? Everyone's playing this game because they just got caught onto it. Everyone's just, every single day they're doing the same thing for other people. And then you start to notice, like, wait a minute, this game is flawed. So you get out of that game. And then you start to see everyone else and you're staring at them and you're like, how do you not see that this is completely fake? How do you not see that this is a game that's not even being played fair? So that's what I mean by escape the matrix. You start to see what it really is. You start to see that all they want is money. I mean, they've been taking every penny from you since you were a kid. The final thing is that you just want to speak up. Like, once you escape the matrix, once you're meditating already, once you find your higher self, once you've mastered that dreams are so much more than just dreams. And I think we're all noticing that right now. I mean, I have a lot of you come to me and you're like, hey, I had this really crazy dream. Like, you guys have never based your intuition on dreams as much as you do now. And they're like, oh, I had this really crazy dream last night. It's all being revealed to you. Like, pay attention to your dreams. If you don't really remember your dreams, let me give you some tips on how to remember your dreams. I mean, it'll take a lot of practice, but first of all, you have to make sure you're hydrated. You have to make sure you didn't eat anything heavy for your stomach before you go to bed, because you're probably not going to sleep well. And also avoid alcohol, avoid spicy, avoid anything acidic at night, just so that you can have a good night of sleep. You have that little period of time that you wake up in the middle of the night. Think about your dreams. When you first wake up in the morning, I want you guys to sit there for a little. Just sit there and chill. Don't look at your phone. Don't get out of bed all rushed. Like, give yourself 5 minutes to just think about how you felt during your sleep. Take 5 minutes out of your whole entire day, out of your 24 hours, and just ask yourself, you were a kid and you thought you can move things with your mind, or you had some kind of power. You really thought you were different. You really told yourself, I feel like I'm different. What changed? Why don't you feel different anymore? Why is being different a bad thing now? There's nothing wrong with being a kid again. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having fun. There's absolutely nothing wrong with making mistakes and being wrong. The last question I wanted to leave you guys with, and I want you guys to really sit and meditate on this. And when I mean meditate, sit in silence, mute everything that you've been thinking about and just focus on that one thing. Why can't you believe that you're so much more powerful than when you've been told? Why can't you believe that? Why can't you believe that all the answers are within you? Why can't you believe that when you live happy, you will be happy? When you manifest things, they will come to you. When you really, really want something, it will come to you because you believe in it. That's how the universe works. Spoiler alert. If you don't know that's how it works, that's really how it works. So I was actually reading something today, and I want you guys to try this with me, okay? So I want you guys to manifest a blue feather. So everywhere you look for a blue feather and see how fast you manifested that. And tell me if you see it. Anyway, I want you guys to do better. I want you guys to understand that everything I'm saying, yes, it sounds crazy, but no, I'm not crazy. And if you are going through a spiritual awakening or you've been awoken for so many years before, you are not crazy. The world outside is crazy. Just wanted to express that because I feel like, I hate to say this, but I just feel like we're running out of time. Like, it's either we all wake up now and we see what's going on around us, or it just goes back to, it's very real and it's happening. You guys don't have to believe what I'm telling you.
In partnership with MIT, Bill Gates has developed a new technology that allows vaccines to be injected under your skin along with your medical records. The Quantum Dot Tattoo will implant an invisible certificate that can be scanned by authorities using a cell phone app and infrared light.
Eventually, what we'll have to have is certificates of who's a recovered person, who's a vaccinated person. So eventually there will be this digital immunity proof.
It's very real and it's happening. I don't blame you guys for the way you live. I really don't, because I understand. I was just like you at one point. I was lost. I was lost like all of you. With all that being said, I just want you guys to take really good care of yourselves, and I mean that. If you have any questions, message me. Like, if you don't know how to meditate, message me about it. Like, there's no shame in admitting that you don't know how to do something that they never taught you how to do, and think about why. If you don't believe in any of this stuff, that's fine. It doesn't need you to believe in it in order to exist. It's still there whether you believe it or not. So I hope you guys take good care of yourselves. I will see you guys soon on my next video. I promise it won't take as long as last time, but thank you if you're still watching, and thanks for everyone who's been so supportive about this. I just want you guys to know that it's okay to be an outcast, and it's okay to be different. We're all different. You know, but anyway, I hope you guys take care of yourselves, and